This is what we came here to do. See that goal? So worth everything.
It's been a crazy journey for the LA Lakers.
This historic 2020 NBA championship belongs to the Los Angeles Lakers.
Our group just grew a little bit closer each time we hit adversity. My players, we grew so much this year. A lot of them I didn't know before this year, but it feels like I've known them my whole life.
I love you, brother.
Oh, you too,
So happy for you, man. You deserve it.
Good defense there from Davis. Forces a turnover, and James with the flush down the other end.
Been in the boat for a little over 3 months. The sacrifice it takes from your team, from yourself. We said we're going to be here this long time away from our families. We got to make it worth it.
Here's Davis, 4-3 in the win. Oh, it's good! Anthony Davis has won it for the Lakers!
A Mamba shot. That was Mamba right there. Yeah, Mamba mentality. Big time shot, AD.
We are a mentally tough group. And to be 100 days in a bubble and to keep the focus, to keep playing and stay together like we did, it's because of that mental fortitude.
In a year we all thought we wanted to forget, the Lakers give us something to remember forever.
When you're able to put yourself in this position to be able to win a championship, the first thing you start to think about is how much work you've put in, how much you've sacrificed, how much you've dedicated to the game and to your craft. I think we all live for that moment.
2020 has been one of the hardest years in recent history for all of us. That's what we want this 2020 Lakers championship to be for Lakers Nation, is a drop of hope and something to celebrate and something to bring joy back.
Well, a lot of joy in the 2020 season. Chris Miles here with Smitty, and welcome back to the 2020-2021 campaign. And Smitty, it's great to be here with you, man. We've spent so much time apart with, COVID-19 and separating and going to the bubble, but it's good to be in studio with you.
It is. We get a chance to talk basketball, and we just had the bubble, Chris, but I miss basketball so much. I know it's a lot taxing on the teams that was there, but we're back.
Well, we're back, and it's the eve of the start of the new season, and you heard Frank Vogel say it in his speech to his team. He said, 100 days in the bubble, and we were able to win the championship. Well, it's going to be just 76 days before the Lakers are trying to defend their title again when they open up this season. So we have the top 10 storylines of the year. Here we go to Smitty. Number one for you, the Lakers. Can they repeat?
Chris, I think they can. I mean, I look at everything they lost. Yes, they lost Rondo. They lost some leadership. But you're bringing in Dennis Schroeder and Montrezl Harrell, two guys up for Sixth Man of the Year award. And obviously, you combine those guys, they average about 37 points and a half. They won't average that much, but there are two guys that can carry the load offensively for parts of the game. You already have AD and LeBron James, but then you have guys who didn't play a lot of minutes. They got a chance to get some experience. I think Alex Caruso is going to be much better. I look at Marc Gasol. He's different than Dwight Howard. But Marc Gasol is a guy that can pass. And you start talking about getting LeBron James and Anthony Davis easy buckets. And then Montrezl Harrell, he's a nightmare when you start to give him space. I don't think he had enough space with the Clippers, like the type of space he'll have with the Los Angeles Lakers. And then let's just look at it. Would you have a guy like Kyle Kuzma, who I think the best basketball will be ahead this year. I think he'll be more comfortable. They retained him. I think the Los Angeles Lakers and his coaching staff, we know everybody now. I think they just have to manage minutes, manage how they go about this chemistry-wise, but I think they can repeat.
It's been a short period of time, but like you said, they've been very active re-signing LeBron, re-signing AD, bringing Kyle Kuzma back, KCP as well, and then going out and getting Montrezl Harrell, and also Sixth Man of the Year, and also a guy who was a finalist for Sixth Man of the Year, Dennis Schroeder. But they do lose Rajon Rondo, who in times in the finals looked like the third best player for the Lakers behind LeBron and AD, making big plays and important decisions. How much are they going to miss his clutch play?
They are, Chris, because he's a gamer, and he's been there. He's won championships, and he's not afraid. And he's also not afraid to challenge LeBron and AD. Dennis Schroeder's a different type of point guard, different type of leadership. Doesn't have that bravado where he can go out there and command. But He is one of those guys that they can play faster, probably can score a little bit better in different type of areas than Rondo at his stage right now. But also they got Wesley Matthews. I like him because he can defend, he can knock down shots, but Dennis Schroeder helps them play faster, and then also he can get to the bucket and draw some more, fouls and get to that free throw line.
LeBron with the 4 rings, trying to make it 5. That's a top storyline for Smitty this season. Another one that we have to pay attention to that could change before the debut of this season this year, and it's James Harden. So, first part of this, is there any chance that with all the trade rumors, they can reconcile and he can stay in Houston?
I think the only way, Chris, is they get a chance to get the season started and they're winning basketball games. That makes everyone happy. I think you look at John Wall, you look at DeMarcus Cousins, you look at Christian Wood. If they can start to win some games, get off to a great start, I think it helps. We can't speak for James Harden. It looks like he wants to be out of there. He's asked for some trades. Don't know if it will work, but I will say it's going to be tough on Rockets management to trade James Harden where he wants to go, because the teams that he wants to go to, I'm looking at how do you do it? How does it fit? And we shall see. But, James Harden is one of those unique players. Whether you love him or not, I can say, stamp through looking at him, he's fun to watch. There's nobody can really guard him, especially the way he plays. But everybody's saying, can that way of playing get you to a championship? We shall see. But he's got them further than I would thought with Houston Rockets.
You use the term, get you to a championship. There are contending teams being rumored and trying to trade for James Harden. So how much of an impact will a pending James Harden trade have on who wins the championship?
I think if you can have him, Milwaukee is one of those teams. And we don't know for sure. And depending on how much you can give up. But when you start talking about a James Harden and a Giannis Antetokounmpo being able to finish games, that's a lot of scoring. Also, if you don't have to give up a Drew Holiday, of course, a guy that can defend. So I look at that matchup. I don't know how it works, but I do know how it works when you start talking about talent. Those are two talented MVP-type caliber players that they can score the basketball in totally different type of ways. Then you look at James Harden with Philly. Now, the rumor is it's for Ben Simmons. So James Harden, Joel Embiid, that's an unbelievable 1-2 punch. I don't know how that works. As far as when you're talking about, can they defend at a high level to win a championship? And that's when you have teammates. How will that work? But Daryl Morey is there, so that might be a landing spot. Brooklyn Nets, they have so much. I actually want to see him in Brooklyn. I don't know if it fits with those 3 guys, but if it could work, where do you double team James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant? And then last is the Miami Heat. That would be special to see James Harden every day, got to dig in and dig out. I think it would get the best out of him.
Whoa, the schedule makers got that right, huh? We get to see the return of KD against the team he won 2 championships with, the Golden State Warriors, on opening night. So the first game of the season. But Smitty, since moving to Brooklyn in 2012, the Nets, they've been to the playoffs 5 times, but they have won 1 series, okay? So what are the expectations now with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving there? Because they have to be raised, but how high are they?
I think it's as high as, they have to have home court, in the Eastern Conference in the first round, so top 4 teams. But when you watch this talent, would you be surprised if they're the second best team as far as a record? Because I look at Kevin Durant, unstoppable, and I look at Kyrie, unstoppable. But what I look at is now you give DeAndre Jordan, Jared Allen easy offensive lanes because those guys draw 2. And with those guys drawing 2, they draw 4 between the 2 of them. Now Karis LeVert and Spencer Dinwiddie, they have 101. And then, oh, by the way, if you so happen to double all of them, we re-signed Joe Harris, one of the best 3-point shooters in the game. So this team, they got to put it together because it's new players, even though they're talented, playing with each other, a whole new coaching staff and a whole different new style, and everybody come from different places. And they have to stay healthy. But other than that, how exciting watching Durant and Kyrie in the preseason. This is going to be something as basketball fans, Chris, we going to, look at it and what's wrong, saying everything was wrong, but if it's right and when it gets right, it's going to be special.
Like you said, we've gotten this much of a glimpse of Kevin Durant in the preseason. So what should we expect from him? I mean, a guy coming off of Achilles injury, 32 years old. There's only one or two players we can think of that have come back from that. Dominique Wilkins is one of them, averaged 30 a game when he did it. But what can we expect from KD?
You know, I look at it as when he went to the Golden State Warriors, and I don't know if he's surrounded by that type of talent, but I think he's also equal because I think right now it's less of a challenge in the Eastern Conference. And let's just be honest, the Western Conference was unreal. There's Steph and Clay that gives you so much room, but Kyrie, Spencer Dinwiddie, Karis LeVert, Jared Allen, and all those guys put together with Joe Harris gives him that type of space. And then I think also right now he's mature. Whenever you get to this stage in your career, especially coming off injury, I think you're going to look at KD averaging an easy 25, 27, but shooting 52%, 42%, and 89, 90% from the free